Ravens. It is makeup time. Honey, did you miss me? Because I missed you. So today, we're not going to do makeup on live. I'm basically going to have a discussion with you about modeling. So I used to be a runway model, and I was in a small accident, which caused me to take a hiatus for a few years. But guess what, y'all? I'm back. Yes, I am about to start modeling again, and I'm a little rusty. So this Model 101 Live will help you and it will help me. So let's get started. All right. So, hi, thank you for joining. We're having a Modeling 101 session today. Not doing makeup today, but we're infusing fashion into this blog because Mahogany Curves magazine is a lifestyle, fashion, makeup brand and magazine. So, number one, when going to a casting call, I was a commercial model, so this modeling 101 session will be focused on commercial modeling. Always, always, always smile. Always smile. The money maker is the smile. Never get on the runway for commercial modeling trying to do this. No, that is not what you do. With commercial modeling, you always make sure you have your etiquette, your poise, your posture, and your smile. It's not like pageantry, but it's akin to pageantry. So you always want to be postured, straight up, shoulders back, elongate your neck, and pose, and pose, and pose, and pose. Next thing, models who have etiquette always bring their model tote bag with them wherever they go. Your model tote bag is like your life preserver if you're swimming, okay? So, number one, always have a nude sheer pair of stockings. Pantyhose. Always have a nude skin color complexion, whatever your complexion is, whether it's suntan, whether it's off black, whether it's tan, whether it's beige. Always have your model tote bag. Hi, Nishi. Thank you for joining. I appreciate the support. So always have your model tote bag with you with a sheer nude pair of stockings, a black heel and a white heel, a white t-shirt, your bathrobe, and backup accessories, a basic pair of earrings, things that you think, a backup set of lashes, or things that you think you would need if something falls off or goes awry. Nishi, hi, what the F is this? This is my live. Not sure why you're cussing, but you have the opportunity to go live on your own, so you do it and then come back and talk to us about it. How about that? Thank you. I wish you all the best. Oh, thank you. Where are you from? From Karan. Thank you. That happens to be my best friend's name, Karan. Hi, Kanj. Hi, Hage. Why are you not live? Hey, Spongy. So today I'm doing a refresher. So I used to be a runway model. I'm casting now. And I'm regrouping and setting up my model tote bag and doing those types of things. Not doing makeup today. Today I'm actually in the studio, in the portfolio or photography studio. And I decided to take this opportunity to go live. But yes, model tote bags are very important. Next thing, no matter the size, smoothers and shapers. You don't want to be going down the runway bouncing like a ball. You want to be on the runway and you want to move with grace and poise, right? You want to move with grace and poise. You want to pose. You don't want any wiggles and jiggles everywhere. It's okay for us to have those wiggles and jiggles because everybody loves a wiggle and a jiggle, but you don't want to jiggle down the runway, right? Right. Next thing, your comp card. So it's important to have your comp card, and on your comp card, you should always have your bust, waist, and hip measurements along with your height, eye color, hair color, contact information, and email address. It's always important to have those things. Then on the back side of your comp card, you want to have a headshot, and on the front side, you pick maybe 3 to 4 images that are comparable to the type of modeling that you're doing. So what I usually do when I do my comp card, I look at catalogs. So you kind of want to mimic catalog if you're a commercial model. So get a Macy's catalog or Google Macy's, Google Saks, Google Belk. Google the stores and the brands that have the looks that you're trying to be casted for. When I casted for Ashley Stewart, I always found Ashley Stewart and Lane Bryant, Tote, brands that had the girls that had the moves, that had the looks that I was trying to cast for. Because there's always someone else trying to steal your position. You're only as good as your last show. What else? Your etiquette and courtesy. Hi, Slip. Your etiquette and courtesy. I'm doing great, Spongy. I appreciate all your love. I missed your live today, but I'll be back to watch it later. You always want to be courteous. Even if someone's talking to you like, stand this way, pose that way, get back, stand up, move here, move there. Keep in mind you're a model. Yes, you deserve respect, but most times they do want models to be seen and not heard. You're not there to give your opinion. You're just there to sell the clothes. So that's super important. Misty, hi Misty. I know you're in there cooking some good food. I'm going to come over and join your channel later and see what you got going on. Thank you for the love, ladies. Yes, you always want to have etiquette. Even if you don't get the job, you always want to say, well, thank you for this experience, and I hope to work with you in the future. You don't ever want to say, well, you didn't cast me, so I'm out. Like, you don't want to have that type of rapport because your reputation follows you everywhere, and you are your brand. You are selling you. And the last thing you want is for people to think because you're a model or because you're selling a look that you don't have the mouth and the brain to match it. You want it to all match. So always keep in mind your mood, your etiquette. It's just like any other type of job interview. Oh, so that brings me to the next thing. A fashion resume. Yes, they exist. Fashion resumes exist, and it's a log of how long you've been modeling, the brands you've modeled for, the result of the modeling you've done. So for example, I modeled for Ashley Stewart, launching their spring line in 2000 whatever, which resulted in 000 point whatever peak sales for the brand. It was a huge success. Each person you model for, you want to have the end result to have some sort of positive, productive outcome. Okay? Oh, what are you cooking, Misty? Now, modeling resume, which brings us to a what? Portfolio. The size of your portfolio is very important, and it's always important to try to keep track of your photos. Some photos you pay for, some photos are given to you after a show, during a show, or after a photo shoot, and sometimes you have to request your photos from the photographer, especially if it's not a paid modeling gig. You can get your pay sometimes from getting your professional photos from that shoot or from that show. And you always want to keep those in a nice leathery portfolio binder. And you want to make sure that it's professional photos, not an Instagram binder, not a Facebook binder, but an actual binder that shows the accumulation of your work. So that brings us to photos. Okay, so when you take photos, it's important, it's very important to get the look that you're trying to achieve with the natural photo. The less editing, the better. The less editing, the better. The less editing, the better. Believe it or not, brands and photographers can tell when you've metamorphosized into another person in your photo. If your waist is a size 28, it needs to stay a size 28. You may want to remove an imperfection. I wouldn't remove tattoos and things because when you get casted, they're going to see them. You really can't cover up tattoos with makeup because it gets on the clothing, it melts, it runs, it has to get redone, especially when you're doing things like bridal. And when I was modeling bridal gowns, they would not allow me to touch anything. They did the makeup, they did the hair, and I had to literally gather these huge gowns and do a catapult to the runway, get to the runway, have my breath in order, walk with a groom, get down the runway, not step on the dress, get off the runway, then run back to the dressing room, get in another one, run back to the runway, and be calm and get back on again. If I had makeup on my clothing, if I had makeup on my skin, it would ruin the clothing. And I know I can't afford a Vera Wang wedding gown, and I was modeling Vera Wang wedding gowns. Steak and Mexican rice and peppers. You go ahead on, Misty. Sounds like a good one to me. So that's super important. So make sure when you're editing, you're not changing your actual proportions of your body. You're not changing and giving yourself a facelift you don't have. Things like that. You can edit out scars or maybe, change the tone or color of the picture. You can do some things in black and white. You can do those types of things. Or maybe there's some sort of distraction in the background that you want to blur out or edit out. All of those things are cool. There's nothing wrong with those types of edits. But if you're editing to actually change your physical appearance to be something that you don't look like in person, that's not good. That's just like putting on your resume that you're a doctor and you show up and you're really a nurse. You won't get the job, and it's basically like you lied. So we don't want to do that when editing. Makeup for casting calls. So when we do our makeup, of course, we call it saying we have our face beat, meaning you beat it down with makeup. Or some girls say they eating it up. They eating it up with makeup. You want to have as little makeup on as possible when casting because they want to see the canvas that they're working with. So they already know if you have scars or imperfections, they already know that they can cover them, but they want to see what they're working with. Now don't go looking like you just jumped out of bed and it's like, here I am. We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. But a little light foundation, maybe a sheer nude lip, some button earrings, if earrings at all. It's nice to pull your hair back so that they can see your face or pull it up. That gives you that natural facelift also. And those big, huge lashes, not good for a casting call if you're trying to be a commercial model because that's not what commercial models look like. So you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to be kind of drag-ish if you're going to a commercial casting call. Now, there are areas for those things, but as far as what we're discussing, which is commercial modeling, that's not the area for that. There is an age size group for everyone. There's a category for women who are over 40, mother of the bride, There's a category for brides. There's a category for flower girls. There's a category for ring bearers. There's a category for groom. There's a category for father of the bride. There's categories for everyone. And there's also categories for all sizes. So I've done 14 and up modeling, and I've done size 8 and under modeling because my weight fluctuates. So there's categories for everyone. It's important to know your proportions. They're more concerned about if you're proportioned. If you're proportioned. Some people have different types of shapes. Like some people are round, that's an apple shape. Some people are bottom heavy, that's a pear shape. Some people are slender Coca-Cola bottle shape. We all know those, don't we? So I'm more akin to a pear. And that's great in the bridal industry because the gowns are really big and bulky. And the smaller you are, the harder they are to fill. So they like average size women. Right now, I'm what they call a tween. I'm not small and I'm not big. I'm a tween, meaning I'm in between sizes. So it's hard. It was hard years ago to get casted if you look that way. But now in today's society, because everyone wants to get the little bump in the trunk done, so it's easier to get casted these days being a normal average size. So don't be concerned about being skinny as a toothpick or any of those things. That's all a myth. Never think that you're too old to get into it because every commercial that you see on TV, those people are modeling and acting. There's a category for everything. There's a category for people who sell dentures. There's a category for people who sell hair dye. It's not just all about high fashion and couture, even though high fashion and couture is fabulous, but there's more categories than just that. So keep that in mind. Anyone have any questions for me right now? We're about to wrap it up shortly. Yes, so true, Misty. There's a category for people who sell wigs. There's a category for people who sell glasses. I mean, there's all types of things. There's all types of things. I've done Walmart. I've done Dollar Tree. And they wanted an average everyday woman who was shopping in Dollar Tree. So I got casted for it. And it worked out well. So don't be discouraged and think that just because you look a certain way or just because your clothes fit a certain way that there's not a category for you. It's also a myth that all models have to be tall. In all honesty, print models can be any height because on print you can't tell the actual height of the person. And a lot of petite models, which are girls who are short and slim, get good print jobs and they model well on print. So for runway it's usually 5'7" and up, but for print you can be shorter than 5'7" and still get casted. I'm 5'8", so I do both. I'm a tween. Once again, I'm not super tall, but I'm not short. So you have to work with what you have and just be confident. That's the biggest thing. Be confident, be polite, be driven, be inspiring, be inspired, and go for it. Don't hesitate, don't second guess yourself. On the next live, we're going to talk about the walk, honey, and do I have a walk for y'all? And I'm also going to share some previous videos of me on the runway. But until then, I am going to see you guys later. But first, I would like for you to stop and subscribe. Everyone, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. I love you so much. I'll be back with makeup tutorials. And I'll also be back with some more fashion videos. But until then, it is makeup time, Mahogany Mavens. I love you. Take care.